the issues relating to the income tax return, because while filing the income tax return, usually we ignore the or unintentionally ignore the audit report uploaded by the chartered accountant. This problem arises when the auditor or chartered accountant and the return filer are two different persons. Because if the person would have been the same, the problems or figures which are mentioned in few columns in the audit report are not ignored while filing the return. This discussion I have it's speaking in two parts. First part is the general part, that when we are preparing the return, whether it is an auditable case or non-auditable case. This is from my experience and also from the inputs provided by my friends, my colleagues, and of course, I am hopeful when I will go for the problems while filing the returns, everybody will have faced in one way or the other the same problems. Friends, as we know, most of the income tax work, there are software companies and all the returns are prepared basically by the software. And they have provided so many checks that it is very rare where there is any error while filing the return. But still there are many problems. There are many errors which the software cannot control, because the intelligence of human being cannot be replaced by the machines. So friends, without wasting the time, I am coming to the first problem. This is family pension. Friends, as we all know, family pension is taxable under the head income from other source. And deduction of rupees 15,000 is allowed for this against this income. But the problem arises, now this is the first problem being posed by the bankings, because they are showing the family pension under section 192 under the head salary. So here the problem arises, and I am giving you the practical example also, because we professionals in Punjab or all over India must have faced this problem. Now in this one of the case, the bank has shown the family pension under the head salary income, but professional, it was our duty to show it at the appropriate head. Now I am taking this year as a financial year 17-18, when there was no deduction, standard deduction under the head salary. When income was shown under the head income from other sources, CPC processing created a demand by taking that family pension income from other source also, and the income which I have not shown under the head salary. So demand was created, later on rectification was filed, but the result was same. Then again, we filed second time rectification. With the same figures, we put the same income from other sources, but the CPC processing, because the same was available in under the head salary, TDS under the head salary. So ultimately, we were forced to file wrong return. We were forced to deduct it from the, remove the figure from the income from other source, and we have to show that income under the head income from salary. There was a loss in that financial year, because in that year, there was no standard deduction under the head income from salary. So we have to pay the additional income tax on that deduction of rupees 15,000, which was otherwise available under the head income from other sources. So this was this is the first problem we faced. Now coming to the business and profession head. Friends, we all know when we work for the government agencies, when we give the bill in a financial year 17-18, they usually pass the bill in the next financial year. We execute the work in a particular financial year, but the deduction of TDS is done in the next financial year, or on the payment by the government agency. The result of this, when in the next year file the return, there will always be a mismatch between the work done shown in the P&L account and the work done shown in the TDS column. So again, one of my friends suffered on account of this. We both handled this problem. We filed rectification for 4 times by stating them that this work has been shown in the previous years, but because CPC processing, we all know, is a machine, does not recognize all these explanations, rejected time and again, but we are happy at the 4th instance they accepted our almost 60% of our claim, and they disallowed our refund to the tune of 40%. So there is no option left. With we people, we can go into the appeal also, because that work done has already been shown in the previous financial years. Similarly, in the case of professionals, we all know the professionals are filing their return on cash basis, and the person who is giving us income or deducting at TDS is claiming it in the previous financial year, and they are paying in the next financial year. So friends, in this case also, many professionals funds were withheld. They suffered a lot. CPC processing didn't allow the refunds. Uske liye the representation was made to the CPC e-filing, who put the same to the CPC processing, and resultantly some relief which we were entitled to were given, and the refund was allowed. Friends, actually there are two things which are in our control, where we can reduce the error while filing the return. But there are many problems which, while filing the return, are under the control of CPC processing or third party, as I stated in the case of banks, when the family pension was disbursed by the banks to the spouse. Similarly, I take up a case of depreciation. Usually, when the work is not, the person is a going concern filing the return. Suppose there is an addition in building, and that building is not complete that particular year. And usually, what we people did not put the additional figure in the depreciation chart. Reason being, once we put that figure in the depreciation is calculated automatically. And in the balance sheet, we feed the gross figure on the building on which we have, which is coming in from the previous year, and we are claiming the refund. The building which has been under construction, on which we have not claimed any depreciation, we put gross figure in the balance sheet column of fixed assets. Friends, I tell you practical example. In this case, one of my case was selected under a limited scrutiny only on this ground. If there is a mismatch, because when in the next year the building was complete and I filed my return, I put WDV by adding the previous figure of the asset, which was on which I was not claiming the depreciation in the last year. Friends, there is a column in the balance sheet wherein there is, under the head fixed assets, there is a work in progress. We should have provided, it's the mistake. The figure would have been provided under the work in progress instead of putting the grossing up, because there was only this mechanism whereby the department could have known that on this figure the depreciation was not claimed in the earlier year. Similarly, in the last year, when the GST is in the operation, one of my contractor worked for a company who gave us some amount, say 2 crores, and on GST there was 30 lakhs. they deducted the TDS on 2 crore 36 lakhs. Resultantly, there was a mismatch because in the the work done was at 2 crores, whereas in the TDS schedule, the work done was showing as 2 crore 36 lakhs. I filed 2 times rectification, explaining them that 36 lakhs is the part of GST on which TDS would not have been deducted or should have not been the part of the work done. But the matter was not resolved. Ultimately, I have to request to the deductor to revise the return, whereby on his revision, the work done was reflected as 2 crore, GST part was ignored, and the return was processed and the refund was given. So these mean small issues coming time and again. Another issues. While filing the returns, we usually see TDS which do not relate to us, or receipt or income which do not relate to us, usually is available in the form 26AS on the portal. So there is a big problem in these types of cases also, although representation from my local bar and on the Punjab Tax Bar Forum, it was suggested to the CPC e-filing that a column should be provided which must reflect an icon that this income relate to me or these receipts do not relate to me. So these are the problem relating to the business and profession. And when we come to the discussion part, my brother, my friends must have faced some other problems, and we will come across all those problems also, and we'll try to find out the solution to that. Now come to the income from house property, residential house property, which has been given to the on rent to any department, and that property is in the co-ownership. It's usually a very big problem. Government agencies take the pan of usually one person and deduct TDS on that figure only. So this is a very problematic situation, and there was no option with we people, and we have to show it under section under the head income from other sources, whereby we lost this benefit of standard deduction, which was at the rate of 30%. Because if we would have been shown the income under section house property, there was no proper point wherein I can deduct the amount of other owners. But while showing that income under the head income from other sources, I was able to deduct the rental income of other co-partners, other co-owners under section 57. So this was another problematic area. So it is requested to the professionals that while filing return, usually everywhere in India, the assessee come on the last dates. So when we come across these problems, we tell them that this is the problem and we will get this problem in future while processing the return. Ignored by the assessee, but these things must be taken care of, because ultimately we have to resolve the issue. CPC processing, while processing, they will create the demand or will not give the desired results. Now we come to the mismatch between the audit report and the figures which we are showing in the income tax returns. This is a first problem which I suffered. My auditor put wrong figure and I suffered a lot. My 3 cases were selected for scrutiny in e-assessment. I'm telling a very recent case for the assessment year 2018-19, and my 3 cases were selected for scrutiny because of the mistake of my auditor. My 3 firms were manufacturing firms. They are paying bonus to their employees, bonus under the Bonus Act. But by mistake, the article of the auditor put the figure in column 20A of the audit report. Now, what is 20A? Column 20A speaks about any sum paid to any employee as bonus or commission for services rendered where such services which was otherwise payable to him as profit or dividend. This is section 36, 1, subclause 2. So this was not the scenario with me, and the auditor put this bonus figure paid column 20 because these three cases were my auditable cases for the last 10 years. Never put the bonus figure in this column. So my mistake also. I didn't check the audit report on the good faith that it is going like the same as in the previous year. My three cases were selected for scrutiny, and the reason was bonus oblique commission. Again, surprise, got a call not from my place but from other places within Punjab that we have also the case has been selected for this reason only. So we then checked the audit report and found that they have put the figure in the wrong column. I immediately revised the audit reports of all the three cases. I told the auditor that you have to revise. He revised the cases. In the meantime, CPC processing issued me the query letters. And in response to the query letter, I responded to them that the audit report has been revised and the figure mentioned in column 28 was the fault of the auditor, and it was unintentionally put into that column. And I'm happy that all my other cases are resolved and I have got the order from the e-assessment party. Similarly, this is column 26(1)(b). It is expenses not paid on or before the due date. The expenses not paid on or before the due date, friends, we all know that we have to add back the net profit. But here we make a mistake. We leave it, we add it to the profit and we file the return. We forget to file that part in the other information which has been provided in the income tax return. We add back into the net profit. We have paid the tax proper on that, but this is a major problem, major mistake on we people, on the part of we people. We forget to provide that figure in the other information. Another technical point. Auditor, suppose, let's take an example, audit one case. In this case, suppose GST has not been paid for the tune of rupees 20,000, and that audit report has been audited on 15th of September, and he qualified that 20,000 has not been paid, and we stopped him to upload it because we say if the due date of filing is 30th September and we can deposit it before 30th September, and after that you can upload it. Friends, you must have seen in numerous cases that they upload the return unintentionally or in the force of that work tension. Audit report is uploaded and that GST, which otherwise was not paid on 15th September, has been paid on 25th of September, and the return has been filed on 28th of September. The messages have been received from the CPC regarding addition of that amount because the chartered accountant has qualified that expenses has not been paid, although the act says that any expense paid under section 43B reads as in the same way, if has been paid before filing of the return before due date, will be accepted. So, but no solution has been found yet by me, and I think only appeal is the solution, because auditor might not revise the audit report because the audit report has been dated as 15th September. Now he can't change the date in the revisional audit report as 25th September, because once the books of accounts have been audited, the date provided in the audit report remain same, and the date of tax which has been paid later on or any other liability paid later on will not be helpful, because he will not be in a position to revise return. While we will be unmuting all, we will discuss this problem, how to handle these types of situations which come across in the life of everybody's profession. There is a column 21A of the audit report, which deals with the disallowances of various expenses. Friends, again, when disallowances of various expenses, we again add back into the income, but we usually forgot to mention that figure in other information part. This is a very general problem. The auditor, any audit in his audit report, any figure in qualifying that amount to be not deductible, we add back into the income. To that extent, we are right, but usually we fail to disclose the same figure in the other information part. Now coming to the next and very important point, which is on which litigation is going on till now, a very disputed point, disputed language: employee share, ESI and EPF. This is column 20B of the audit report. Here is it reads as detail of contribution received from employee for various funds as referred to in section 36(1) VA. 36(1) VA, what 36(1) VA says, if we have to deposit the employee share contribution within the due date as specified under that act, ESI, EPF or any welfare fund, we have to deposit in by the next month, by the next 15th of the month. Means suppose April month is there, employee contribution is there, we have to deposit that by 15th of May. So on, 15th May, 15th June, June is July, means we have to deposit by the next of 15th. But here is the controversy, because section 43B is to the help of a professional and the assessee. Section 43B says, Section 43B, it says, notwithstanding anything contained in any provision of this act or deduction otherwise allowable under this act in respect of A, any sum payable by the assessee by way of tax, duty, cess, fee, by whatever name called, under any law for the time being in force, or any sum payable by the assessee as an employer by way of contribution to any provident fund or superannuation fund or gratuity fund or any other fund for the welfare of the employer. So friends, there are two things. The first is the employer contribution and second is the employee contribution. So what CPC is taking, they are taking employer contribution under 43B. They say if you have deposited before the due date of filing the return, it is okay. But as far as employee contribution is concerned, taking strictly according to the section 36(1) VA, wherein they says if you have deposited late, even if you have paid it before filing the return, the claim will not be accepted, and this is the point of litigation. Here again, before last year, what CA and auditors used to do it, they used to provide the gross figure of ESI and EPF of employer and employee contribution, which results into the addition of the whole amount of employer and employee contribution. So many auditors revised the audit report, wherein they provided only the employee share in that column, but the addition was restricted by the CPC to that amount. So there are various judgments of different high courts, majority in the favor of assessee, Punjab Haryana High Court, Rajasthan High Court. I mean, there are numerous high courts which are in favor of assessee, and I must go with the two decision of the Rajasthan High Court, CIT versus Om Metals Infrastructure Private Infrastructure Limited, and the CIT versus Rajasthan State Beverages Corporation Limited, which were delivered in favor of assessee, wherein the employee contribution, even if paid late according to the date of their act, but was paid before filing the due date of the return, was allowed by the Rajasthan High Court. The department went to the SLP before the Supreme Court, and those two SLPs were not entertained by the Supreme Court. So this was the current position, disputed position. But as far as those places where the jurisdictional high courts are in favor of assessee, are at a beneficial position. If I take my place, Punjab Haryana High Court, Punjab Haryana High Court has delivered all the judgments in favor of the assessee, and there is a judgment of the Punjab Haryana High Court full bench, wherein it has been held that the judgment of the jurisdictional high court is binding upon the lower authorities. In fact, the judgment of the higher authority is binding on the lower authority. So we people are getting the benefit of these judgments, and once CPC processing is creating a demand, we are going into the appeal, and resultantly our huge demands are being deleted, and the assessee are benefited through those judgments. But I'm surprised there are those very few high courts like Gujarat High Court and Kerala High Court, Madras High Court, which have delivered the judgments against the assessee. The person will have to fight for that issue. But we people in other areas whose jurisdictional high court in favor of assessee are at a little bit beneficial side on the ground, that the demands created by CPC processing at least are being fought into the appeal cases. So friend, this is all from my side. You people must have faced one problem or the other, and I will be happy during interaction if somebody tells his experience while filing the return, or after filing the return, they have faced the consequences. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Rupender ji. Thank you very much. There is one query from Mr. Virendra Arora. I am going to unmute him. 1 minute. Mr. Virendra ji?
Hello?
Yes,
sir?
please. Yes, please, continue.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Please continue.
Mr. Kansi explained the problem faced by the tax professionals. There's one more problem we are facing, that there are many entries in Form 26 AS which are not reflected. Our TDS is deducted, but that TDS deducted is not showing in Form 26 AS. Unless until it is deducted, we are not able to claim it. We are left on the mercy of the director. And in one of my case, we have even to High Court to file it to claim this. This is a very big problem.
Yes. Yes, as discussed in my initial part, I have discussed that there are many entries which do not relate to we people are shown in Form 26 years. Also, cases vice versa is also the scenario where the TDS has been deducted, but not reflected in Form 26 years. In this case, what we people can do, can approach our jurisdictional TDS officer, TDS ITO, and hierarchies, that additional commissioner or CIT TDS. We can approach them and force assessee to file the TDS return so that TDS can be reflected. Otherwise, High Court is always there for our help, and we have to approach the jurisdictional High Court for getting the relief. Otherwise, there is no Section 205 deals with this, that once the TDS has been deducted, it is on a department to make it reflected in Form 26 years. And if I am not wrong, your case was the of TDS was from the sale of immovable property, And
Yeah.
there is a judgment that once the TDS has been deducted from the sale of immovable property, and that has been mentioned in the sale deed, that itself is an evidence that TDS has been deducted, and there is a judgment on this issue also. We can discuss it later on, and
But
we can
we
provide.
we can't do nothing at local level. Sometimes deductor is sitting in Bombay and we are sitting in here, and we have to complain to the ITO TDS in Bombay. It's a very expensive process and time consuming.
So, so
We
that
are
means
left at the mercy of deductor.
yes, we are at the mercy of. There is no issue. There is no issue about this. We are at the mercy of deductor. Yes.
Thank you.
A very rarest of rare cases like this, that where deductor is so adamant that he is not showing the entries properly in Form 26A. Rare cases.
Even bank people generally don't rectify the TDS returns. They say that it's centralized and we have to write to the head office and only then get it
Yes.
rectified.
Yes, this has been recent problem is coming, because earlier the banks used to file the TDS return from the local level.
Locally, yeah.
Yes, yes. From the last 1 year, they have centralized it, and they are filing their return from their head offices. This problem is there, a very big problem is there. There is no issue about it, but we can only tell our local branch where the TDS, the person has an account, or where the person has an FDR, that to get it rectified if there is any error.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now, next question is from Mr. Bhavya Popat, Union Territory, Una. Bhavyaji, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Please continue.
Consul sir, good evening everyone. Sir, my question is regarding that our clients, we have many clients who are the government contractors. They usually receive the payment inclusive of GST. That amount is always included in 26As as a part of total payment. We file our return, we bifurcate it. This is a big issue in our area. Please, sir, throw some light on this.
Sir, this situation, again, I dealt with it. It happened with me. My person worked for some company, and they deducted the TDS on the gross amount of the work done and the GST. 2 to 3 times I explained on receiving the notice from the income tax department that there is a difference on account of GST, and that pure proper amount was matching. It was on account of GST. But brother, sorry, I have to approach to the company. My assessee approached the company, and he has to got the TDS return revised, wherein only the work done without the GST element. Only then my return got processed, and my assessee's huge amount was because of this error, and now he has got the refund.
Yes, sir, because
there is no way otherwise.
Okay, sir, thank you.
I have one another query which is merged with a GST regime also. Technically, I am not a person from income tax, but I have one small query regarding VAT audit as well as income tax audit. Suppose pertains to one accounting year, say 17-18, there is an input tax credit amounting to ₹100, which is reflected in GSTR 2A. But this particular dealer has not claimed any input tax credit during filing of return, as well as he has not posted any input tax credit in his books of accounts. It is purely reflected in GSTR 2A, and based upon this, GST auditor has going to accept this input tax credit in its GST audit. Now, issue comes there is a huge difference pertains to claim of GP due to claim of input tax credit. There is a huge difference between GP under income tax act. What is the scenario in this particular aspect?
A very common problem, but fortunately this problem never arose in my office, because before finalization of accounts, or before filing the income tax return, my office always checked the GSTR 2, 3B and the trial of the assessee, and this problem did not arise. But very problematic area people are suffering on account the fault of the accountants. They did not prepare the books of account properly. This problem only came into the notice while preparing the GSTR 9. This only came onto either on that period or while preparing the financial account of the next year, because by that time things were clear. And in my opinion, if this thing has left, only solution is to enter that left ITC on 1st April of the next accounting year. Only transfer entry could have been there. There is no other solution if the returns and the auditor report has been submitted to the income tax department, in my opinion.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
But so many friends are available right now. If any person is having a very good idea or a lawful idea, then he must share this in
Sure,
the
we can discuss on this issue also. Another
Yes, yes.
member is Mr. Rajnikant Patel.
या
Please continue, sir.
ओके सर जी,
Yes, sir.
मेरे केस में मेरे एसएससी ने जो टैक्स पेमेंट है टीडीएस का वो ड्यू डेट में कर दिया था, लेकिन ऑडिटर ने बाय मिस्टेक वो आफ्टर ड्यू डेट में शो करके ऑडिट रिपोर्ट फाइल कर दिया और हमने वो देखा नहीं था बिलिंग के टाइप पे, और इसके हिसाब से वो असेसमेंट में 143(1)(a) का एडजस्टमेंट का नोटिस आ गया।
Yes.
अभी क्या हो सकता है इसमें, क्या रेमेडी है?
You ask your auditor to revise the return because
रिवाइज ऑडिट रिपोर्ट
Yes.
है क्या?
Yes, sir. Sir, I have got so many audit report revised of the auditor.
ओके, थैंक यू सर। ओके,
Thank you, sir. Is there any query from any member? Please raise your hand or otherwise drop your message in chat box, please. There is Mr. V&I Associates, but I could not unmute them. Now, next is Mr. Amit Gupta. Amit Gupta from Jammu. Please
गुड इवनिंग
continue.
सर। गुड इवनिंग सर।
Good evening. Please continue.
सर जो मेरे क्लाइंट हैं वो सर्विस प्रोवाइडर हैं, ही इज डीलिंग इन सिक्योरिटी गार्ड एजेंसीज, ही इज गिविंग दी सर्विसेज टू ए सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट। हिज इशू इज दैट on 31st of March the department has accrued the expenses in their books, deduct the TDS and shown that TDS in the 26 years report, whereas we have raised the bill of that particular month of March in April as per GST. So our turnover as per GST and as per 26 years differs.
Sir, there is a column provided in the schedule TDS. They are very easy way in this way. If any extra entry has been provided by any department on which TDS has been deducted, but you are showing that sale, that turnover in the next financial year, you can carry forward that amount and that TDS to the next year.
Sir, we have taken that account, but the department has issued us a notice that there is a difference in our TDS claimed and TDS shown in 26 years, because we have not claimed the TDS for the month of March.
For the month of March, you haven't shown that receipt in your income tax return, and you have not claimed that TDS, and you have carry forward put that figure in the carry forward column.
Okay, so we have to do that.
Yes, you have to carry forward the amount and that TDS to the next year.
So, what has to done?
And if the department has issued you any notice or any 143(1)(a) intimation communication, you can reply to that the same has been carried forward into the next financial year. So, because in the case of professional, in the case of professional, this is the thing we are doing. We are practically doing in the case of professional, because we are following cash system of accountancy, and the businessman is doing it on the mercantile basis of accountancy. And if they are deducting the TDS on the 31st of March, but not paying to us, they are paying into the next year. So we carry forward that amount and TDS to the next financial year. And same will
next audit report, it has to be declared.
Yes. Sir, you have to
So
add that.
every year this is the cycle, na? So we have to take brought forward TDS and income of last year and forgo the income and TDS of the next March.
सर
31st
आपका
March.
31st मार्च वाला वर्क डन और 31st मार्च वाला टीडीएस मंथ का जो टीडीएस है वो नेक्स्ट ईयर के ब्रॉड फॉरवर्ड कॉलम में सर ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाएगा.
ठीक है. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now another member is from South. Name is Mr. Annamalai Krishnamurthy. Are you there, Mr. Krishnamurthy?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, please continue.
Sir, good evening to everybody. Sir, actually, one of my clients' service receiver had deducted TDS during the financial year 15-16, for which my client had not raised any invoices, neither we received any purchase order from the client, nor purchase order from the service receiver, neither we raised any invoices, but they deducted the TDS. Showing the provisions in their balance sheet, they created the TDS. Now, during the scrutiny, the assessing officer treat this as the receipts and he had made the addition. Is there any case regarding this, sir?
You are having any dealing with that party?
Yes, sir. Previously, during the previous years and during the next years, we have the dealings, sir. During that particular financial year, we don't have any transactions, sir.
Sir, what should have happened that while filing the financial year 15-16, in which the
Yes,
your vendor raised the bill and deducted the TDS, you should have carried forward that amount to the next year if you have
No,
actually
sir.
done into the next year.
No. During the financial 14-15, what we have raised the invoice, they had credited during the TDS and every accounting had been completed during the financial year 14-15. The
Acha,
next year, it was like an increment or it was like something incentive, sir. The incentive was in negotiation, but the incentive was not finalized between the vendor and the receiver. In the meantime, they created some provisions and they deducted TDS and credited in our 26 AS account.
So what I have understood from your query that you worked for one of your vendor in the financial year 14-15, but in the financial year 15-16, you never worked for that person. That person created some provision and deducted TDS on that amount. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So then you
Yes, sir.
can produce your books of accounts whereby you can show that no work has been done for that party, sir, if your case has been selected under scrutiny. And you can also get the statement recorded of your vendor that we can easily explain that the only has been created, no work has been done.
Yeah, he had given the statement that he had only created provisions, but the assessing officer made an addition, sir.
Sir, the officer has made an addition. So you are going one step ahead, then there is no option left with you. You have to go for an appeal before the CITP.
Yeah, we went for appeal. Is there any case laws regarding this one?
Any case in this, sir? I will request Mr. Nigam Shahji to note down your number and we can discuss it later on. Definitely, I will help
Mr.
in finding out some case law.
Yes, Mr. Krishnamurthy, either you drop your email ID or your contact number in chat box. I will collect you and we will communicate to Rupender ji and we'll discuss later on.
Please, sir. Thank you, sir.
Please, sir. Thank you very much. My next question is from Mr. Divyesh Mehta, who is from Gujarati, and he is also your good friend. Please, sir.
Rupender ji, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother.
Yeah, I am Divyesh Mehta from Ahmedabad. I have a query regarding wrongly deposited TDS in my 26 AS. Get to the point. My client is a private limited company having 2 directors. Now, when he got the notice that 90 lakhs has been deducted from Reliance, he went to the officer. He said that no TDS has been deducted. The officer was not ready to believe this. So what we did was, we got the bank statements wherein turnover was zero, absolutely zero. I gave it to the officer. The officer said, no, this is Reliance Industries and they have deducted it, so they are not at fault, you are at fault. I said, but sir, if there is no transaction, okay, fine. If you want to take 9 lakh rupees TDS, get me 90 lakh rupees. I am going to pay 9 lakh rupees. and
Yeah.
the officer rejected our this thing, and the ex party order was done.
Your case was
Now-
fixed. Your case was fixed for scrutiny
Yeah, scrutiny.
because of this mismatch.
Yeah, this mismatch. My turnover was 0. Now I went to the first appeal. Same thing happened there. I filed an affidavit over there that I have no turnover absolutely. The other reason is private limited has a this thing law that at least 2 directors have to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the director had died in the past.
Mhm.
My private limited is nowhere in existence.
Mhm.
Still you are giving me this thing. Then they said no, this is a part of Reliance, go to the tribunal.
But I am surprised when when the case was fixed for scrutiny and was in the first appellate tribunal.
Now I'm going to the tribunal.
Summon. Reliance could have been issued a summon by the authority.
The summons was issued, but they have not appeared. They didn't bother to appear.
Sir, sir, nobody can help in this. So
No, I went to the tribunal.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Still, there is a point. The tribunal said, now you go back to the officer, produce all the documents you have given, and then try to understand or make the officer understand. Now, what should I do in such case?
So you know the India are not. So this is not a proper forum. How can I how to make him understand?
No, but see,
Yeah,
this is totally injustice. As it is, this is a private limited company. It is nowhere in existence because one director has already been died.
Sir, but sir, देखिए, when the issue arises, first time, your 2 directors were there.
No, that time also one director had died already.
Sir, then why you have raised this and as an
I
appeal?
have raised everywhere to the first officer, to the first appeal, and to the tribunal also.
Okay, sir. Then there are. If I am not wrong, it's a very interesting case because
Yeah.
in one of my case, I tell you, my case the issue was different. The notice was issued in the name of a dead person,
Right.
not in the name of legal heir. And I raised the objection with the legal case law, and my plea was accepted, and the case was dropped.
Okay.
So your case is almost on the same line. The case when the case was fixed for scrutiny, your already one director was not there.
Yeah. That
So
case,
your company was dissolved before that.
no, the
before
company
that.
wasn't. The company wasn't dissolved. The case was not in my hands. Some other people was handling this. Then it came to me. Then I came to understand all the facts. Then I have produced all the facts. I have even written to the TDS commissioner also that wrong TDS being deposited. I don't know. Nothing is going to happen.
This is otherwise we talk. There is only solution if the Reliance company give his statement where it will be a 0. The things could have been very easier.
They are not ready to appear. Who will allow them to appear? Who will summon them to appear?
Sorry, if they are above then income tax authorities, who can help it? But your great personalities are there. You are from Gujarat. Akshat Bhai is there. And you can take the help of Akshat Bhai, even Waris Bhai, Nishant Bhai sitting at Ahmedabad.
See, again, if you have to take some resource of some people, then what is the help of the law? I don't understand.
Sorry to say, I have my standing of 20 years and my office standing of 55 years because my father was also a taxation lawyer.
Right.
But as far as my experience is concerned, law is not there. Sorry to say on this forum.
No worries. If at all you find anything concerned with this,
Definitely
please
I
let
will.
me know.
Definitely.
Please let me know.
Yes,
Yeah.
Dinesh ji, we will discuss later on this
Yeah.
issue.
Thank you so much, Nigam bhai. Thank you so much, Rupinder ji.
Please, sir.
Thank you
please,
so much.
Please, sir. Please, thank you very much.
सर मैं तो आज वैसे ही खुश हूँ क्योंकि जब से जीएसटी लागू हुआ है जो प्रोफेशनल्स इनकम टैक्स और दोनों की ही प्रैक्टिस करते हैं जीएसटी इतना फ्रंट रनर हो गया था इनकम टैक्स बहुत ही बैक बेंचर हो गया था उस पर डिस्कशंस बंद हो गई थी आई एम हैप्पी कि आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग टाइम इनकम टैक्स पे डिस्कशन हो रही
सर एक शायरी अगर सुनोगे तो आपको सुनाऊं अगर क्योंकि आप बहुत शॉकिंग लगते हो.
So I'm happy अगर मेरी पर्सनालिटी ऐसी है.
If Nigam bhai,
yes, please, थोड़ा
if Nigam bhai permits,
please, थोड़ा
ऐसे मौके पे इरशाद है, तुम नहीं गम नहीं शराब नहीं ऐसी तन्हाई का कोई जवाब नहीं.
क्या बात है.
क्या
क्या बात है जी, क्या बात है क्या बात
Thank you so much, Rupinder ji. I'm highly
है
obliged.
सर. I will
Nigam bhai,
definitely-
thank you so much. Nigam
थैंक
bhai.
यू थैंक
सर आप अपना नंबर भी ड्रॉप कर दीजिएगा, निगम
Yeah,
डिस्कस कर लेंगे एंड आई विल
Yeah,
रिवर्ट बैक टू यू सर.
यू बिल्कुल सर
thank you
बिल्कुल.
so much. Thank you so much.
Now our next member is Mr. G.S. Chawla. Mr. Chawla,
Yeah, Mr. Counsel, coming back to the issue of mismatch of 26 AS and the return filed, there is a judgment by the Allahabad High Court in the case of Rakesh Kumar Gupta versus Union of India. This was decided in 2014. The court has held that if there's a mismatch like this, and the fault is not attributable to the cessee, then the employer is at fault, and then the cessee should even get interest on that amount, which is not reflected in 26 AS. And then there's another very interesting judgment of the Bombay High Court. This was decided in 2018. Now, in this case, the cessee was a salaried employee, and the employer did not furnish him the TDS certificate. And somehow, because of non-furnishing of the TDS certificate, he could not get his refund from the income tax department. So the Bombay High Court took very serious note of that, and they have held that in these such kind of cases, in case of non-furnishing of TDS certificate by the employer, provisions of Section 405 of the Indian Penal Code should be invoked against the employer. So I just want to bring this to your knowledge.
Sir, very much right you are. Actually, if we go to our section 200 to 205, you will see they have put the onus on the DG system that TDS must have been reflected on the system by the DG. But sir, you must appreciate this fact that without an entry being reflected in Form 26AS, where the deductor or payer is at fault, sir, you must appreciate that income tax department is also at a limitation. Till that entry is not available in our Form 26AS, it will be very difficult to handle
I
those
understand.
situations.
Yeah, I understand the issues, the mismatch issues and all. But still, somehow the preponderance of opinion is always in favor of the cesses in these kind of cases. Yeah, and there's a circular also which says that even if the TDS is not appearing in 26AS, the ITO has to grant the deduction on the basis of the certificate issued to him.
Yes, sir. Very much you are right, sir. Sir, some cases में you will appreciate e-filing को भी हम approach करते हैं जहां कहीं ये problem आती है. We approach authorities also. सर सारे ही assessee जो डिडक्ट उसके फेवर में है फॉर्म 26AS में वो रिफ्लेक्ट हो जाती हैं ऑन दी डायरेक्शंस ऑफ द ITO TDS. सर सारा कुछ करवाना ही पड़ता है, अप्रोच करके करवाना पड़ता है, TDS को फॉलो, जॉइंट कमिश्नर TDS को फॉलो करके बुलवानी पड़ती है सर, फिर ही काम होता है. और अदरवाइज अगर हम जजमेंट्स की बात करें सर, सॉरी सर, अगर हम जजमेंट्स की बात करें, हाउ मेनी सेसी people are ready to go to the High Court?
Yeah, I understand that. That is the issue. You see, the SECI always, or the council always has to run from pillar to post to get these benefits for the city.
Sir, I am not aware about other stations. Here the people are ready to pay the regular fees at time. What to talk of the High Court expenses?
That's the main issue. Anyway, thank you for a very enlightening, interesting discussion.
Oh, it's my pleasure, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chawla. Now next is Mr. Ramkaran Singh Yadav. Mr. Yadav, are you there?
Sir, yes.
Please continue, sir.
Sir, good evening, Rupendra ji.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, all my friends. Sir, my question is there. Director of my client, and it is short reflected in 26AS. And although I was known about that reduction, therefore I have filed my return and claimed full TDS. In spite of it was short reflected in the 26AS. After filing of the return, it is reflected fully. The total amount was reflected in 26AS. But the refund was given leaving that amount.
Sir, actually, very common problem. You have to get your, either you file rectification under section 154 or you can revise your return. No issues about that. The problem will be solved. I have a assessee dealing in a timber. He purchases timber from the forest department. TCS is deducted and huge amount of TCS is deducted. When we are going to file the return, usually a big amount of TCS is not reflecting in our form 26AS, but we can't leave the claim, because if we do not claim that part of TCS, our claim will go. So we increase our TCS claim, got refund at the first processing, and by that processing, the TCS is available in the form 26AS. I have filed the rectification. Within 20 days, that rectification was effective and my balance refund was in the bank account.
So although I have already filed my revised return, rectified return, but they have not paid my balance amount yet.
Sir, how much time, which assessment year?
It is 2019-20.
And when, sir, you revised your return? In which month?
Sir, it was revised in last month.
Sir, you must appreciate lockdown is there, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Sir, just wait. When the things will go and within 20 days, because this happened with, I revised in January and I got the refund in February.
Right, sir. I'll just wait for it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yadavji. Thank you, Yadavji. Now, next is Mr. Rupin Merchant. Is there Mr. Rupin Merchant? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please continue.
Sir, I would like to know, I just missed something about your explanation about family pension. So can you once again give some details about that?
Sir, family pension usually is taxable under the head income from other sources.
Yeah.
Where we get the deduction of rupees 15,000. But what banks are doing, they are showing it under the head salary 192. They deduct under 192.
Okay.
So that is the problem. We have to show it under income from other sources. But if I choose the head income from other sources, CPC processing is accumulating. They are creating that income, adding that income under the head salary also. That was the problem. So for the financial year 17-18, I was at a losing point. But if now from financial year 18-19, standard deduction is there, instead of 15,000, person is happy to get the standard deduction of rupees 40,000 last year and 50,000 this year. Although I have raised this issue with CPC e-filing, I have already bring this issue in their notice that this thing is going on. Please clarify to the banks not to put section 190.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Next is Mr. Sunil Kansara. Mr. Sunil, are you there? Mr. Sunil? Another query is Mr. V&I Associates. There is a ID is V&I Associates. Are you there?
Yeah, yes.
Please continue.
Sir, one of my client is a partnership firm and also registered under GST. They're one of their client is deducting and depositing TDS to their money burner PAN number. They will not willing to revise that TDS return. How solve this issue?
Sir, please, little bit disturbance is there. Can you please repeat again?
Okay. Sir, one of my client is a partnership firm. Hello, sir.
Okay.
One of my client is a partnership firm and also registered under GST.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
One of the client is deducting TDS and they deposit to the partnership firm's money burner PAN.
Partnership firms?
Managing partner PAN.
Sir, this query is posted by this person in a chat box also. His mic is not in proper working. I am repeating his question if I am not wrong. Question is, my client is partnership firm and also registered under GST Act. Their client deducting the deposits of TDS to managing partner PAN number.
Oh, very simple. If your deductor is ready to help you, This happens.
Further, then deductee doesn't want to revise his return. How to solve this issue?
That is the problem, sir. They are not willing to revise that.
Sir, we can't help it in these types of cases. Very adamant people are there. Otherwise, just take 1 minute, sir. Just take 5 minutes. We have to go to the TDS portal. We have to just file an amendment from there. Just have to replace the PAN of the your partnership firm with that of and very next day the TDS will be amended in your minus will be from your partnership account and plus will be in your firm account. But sir, you have to take the help of local jurisdictional TDS officer, ITO TDS.
Okay.
Sir, while doing this, you can while issuing a letter, submitting a letter to the ITO, I request you to copy this letter to the CIT TDS also. It will have a more impact.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Sir, one query is there.
Yes, sir.
Please continue.
Sir, one of my client is a recovery agency.
One of your client is
a recovery agency.
One of my client is recovery agency. He is registered under GST. We have recorded income on our on the basis of income invoice date, but they are deducting TDS on April month, in the month of April invoice, because the work done in month of March.
Sir, the problem will come. Suppose what I have understood, you have done the work in financial year 17-18, suppose, for example, and some of the income of March has been put by the deductor in the financial year 18-19. Am I right?
No, sir. No. Because they are working in March. We are issuing invoice in April month, but they are deducting TDS on March. So March previous financial year, our income as per 26 is increasing.
Sir, I have understood your point. If I am not wrong, your point is query same as that of our brother from Jammu. You can carry forward that amount to the next financial year. Work done that you have work done in the next year and the TDS. You can carry forward in that particular year, and that TDS and work done will be brought forward automatically. If you are working through some software company, through some software, income tax software, that will be brought forward automatically in the next year.
I am using.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm using Winman software.
Any. Means if your software is not automatically carry forward नहीं कर रहा है, तो आप उसको carry forward खुद अपने कर सकते हैं.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next is Mr. Waris Isani. Waris ji, he is from Gujarat. Waris ji.
Sir.
Please, sir.
Sir, Consult sir.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
In fact, this is in continuation of query of Mr. Divyesh Mehta. I would like to just add one more thing. That the issue which has been described and discussed by Mr. Divyesh Mehta, and right now the matter is before the tribunal. Now, in some cases, the history of the case of Mr. Divyesh Mehta, there is a CBDT instruction number 5 dated 8th July 2013. Wherein CBDT has given the instruction in such type of cases where the cases are selected for scrutiny. In a case where there is a entry in the 26 AS, for example, and it is a wrongly entered the entry in the TDS certificate, TDS of this 26 AS. Although there is no transactions, and somebody has wrongly deducted the TDS by putting the wrong PAN or something like that, because this is something like mentioning of the PAN of the person. That's why the 26 AS is reflecting this TDS. Now the tribunal will definitely remand the matter back to the assessing officer. But in this, when your case is selected for scrutiny because of this reason only, you will have to refer the CBDT instruction number dated 8th July 2013, wherein the CBDT has very categorically stated that it is the duty of that assessing officer to issue the notice to the deductor. that you kindly revise your TDS return if you have wrongly mentioned the PAN of the deductee, and that is the only reason that why this 26 AS is reflecting this TDS in particular SSC's case. So in the case of the Divyesh Mehta,
you continue.
Case of Divyesh Mehta, now only remedy lies with that. Once the matter is remanded back to the assessing officer, you will have to cite this instruction of the CBDT number 5 of 8 July 2013 that the officer is required to issue the notice to the deductor, as well as the SSC is also required to write a letter to the deductor to revise this TDS certificate, to revise the TDS return. And there are 3 decisions. One is a very latest decisions of Bombay Tribunal in the case of Tally Sources Private Limited, wherein the tribunal has remanded the matter back with this direction only referring the CBDT instruction. And the 2 more decisions, one is in the case of Rakesh Kumar Gupta versus Union of India, 46taxman.com 447 of Allahabad High Court. And the second judgment is in the case of PK Rajashekhar versus ITO, 74taxman.com 151 of Chennai Tribunal. These are the 3 decisions which will come under the rescue of the particular SSE, in whose case there is a wrong entry of TDS in their 26 AS, although they have not entered into any transaction with that particular deductor. This is just I wanted to add with you.
Varis bhai, you are absolutely right, but the person is saying that even the assessing officer has issued the summons and the company is not responding. Then brother, what these circulars means to the relevant case? Because even if company is not responding, who will appreciate the fact that I haven't worked? If he will not give his copy of account, I'm going further. It is possible that Reliance has claimed the deduction of that 90 lakh as an expense in his books of accounts. It's possible.
I do agree. Definitely, see, there are other ways and means, as far as person is not responding the issuance of the summons under section 131 of the Income Tax Act. What might try to making the understanding of the issue is that once the officer has issued the summons also, at the same time, officer can also write a letter that if wrongly deducted the TDS or mentioning wrongly PAN of the particular deductee, then officer can also write a letter to revise the TDS return also, and the officer can also ask the deductor to give the details of the transactions undertaken by particular deductor with particular SSE, that how he has made the payment, to whom he has made the payment. Once the summons is not responded by the deductor, officer also,
Sir, I have rightly answered the query that you must take the help of Mr. Varis bhai. He is sitting in Gujarat.
No, I just wanted to add, Kansalji. I do not want to step into your jurisdiction. I'm very sorry. Just I wanted to.
Sir, he is from Gujarat. You are from Gujarat. You must help the person.
I understand. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
On same issue, Mr. Virendra Arora has some suggestion also. Are you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Virendra.
हेलो यस सर, जो भी हमारे यहाँ अहमदाबाद से लीग ने क्वेश्चन किया था, मेरी आवाज आ रही सर?
जी आ रही।
उसका सेम केस में एक मेरा कंपनी ऐसे ही बंद हो गया था, तो उसका 148 में नोटिस इशू हुआ था अभी जाके असेसमेंट ईयर 12-13 का।
ओके।
तो अभी वो कंपनी एग्जिस्टेंस में नहीं था, डायरेक्टर की डेथ हो चुकी थी, तो एओ ने केस क्लोज कर दिया मेरा उस मैटर पे।
जी।
एओ ने, उसका ऑर्डर है मेरे पास, वो मैं शेयर कर दूंगा।
श्योर सर।
पर लोकल एओ का, आपका तो केस अभी सीआईटी अपील और ट्रिब्यूनल में चला गया है, लेकिन एओ का ऑर्डर मेरे पास है। एओ एक्सेप्टेड माय रिप्लाई एंड ही क्लोज्ड द केस दैट कंपनी इज नॉट इन एग्जिस्टेंस राइट नाउ at the time of the issue of notice.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
on same ground, this query was raised by Mr. Divyesh Mehta from Gujarat, but right now he is not in this pool.
Okay.
I will discuss with Kansalji, Divyeshji, with you also. And
share his number. I will WhatsApp him.
Absolutely.
Nigam, इससे 2 क्वेरी पहले एक क्वेरी रेज हुई थी जिसमें उन्होंने कहा था कि मार्च में मैंने वर्क डन किया लेकिन मैंने अप्रैल में इनवॉइस किया. आई जस्ट वांट टू अगेन क्लैरिफाई कि व्हाई दैट पर्सन रेज्ड द बिल इन अप्रैल व्हेन द वर्क वाज डन इन द मार्च. जस्ट we can revert back to that person, that
1 minute, sir.
brother.
Yes, right now he is available. I have unmuted this person. His name is V&I Associates. Is there Mr. V&I Associates?
Okay.
I think.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
sir.
Please,
सर
consult.
आपने क्वेरी रेज करा था कि मार्च में आपने वर्क डन किया और अप्रैल में आपने टीडीएस काटा, इनवॉइस रेज किया, सॉरी इनवॉइस रेज किया.
Sir, please tell in English. I can't Hindi. I don't know.
So question was there. In continuous to your old question.
Yeah, tell me, sir.
Counter question is that when you have executed your contract or your work was in March, why you have issued invoice in April? Am I right, sir? Consulji.
Because company is approving our invoice only in March. So our work is completed on March 31st, and we are issuing invoice within the 10th of April.
So one point is there. If you have executed the work in March,
yeah,
you must have raised the invoice in March itself. I am of this opinion also.
But our client is not agreeing that.
Your client is not
agreeing that.
Why? Legally, because when we talked a few minutes back, we were purely on this issue कि we can carry forward that. But if we come to the legality also, so if you have executed some work in a particular financial year, isn't it the tax escaping, and we are showing that in April? It's at the convenience of the assessee, and in this case, he should raise the invoice should have raised the invoice in March.
Before March 31st. That's right. But our client, their client is not agreeing that. Client is Hero FinCorp. You know.
So I think so. The people on this forum must agree that a work done in a particular financial year should be invoice should be raised in that financial year itself.
Okay, we will try, sir.
You must have to convince the person.
Okay. Corporate company, you know, Hero FinCorp.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you. Next is Mr. Amit Gupta from Jammu. Mr. Amit.
Hello, sir.
Please
सर
continue.
जो अभी किया मेरा भी क्वेश्चन जो पहला क्वेश्चन था इसी लाइन में था कि भाई जो 31 मार्च तक जो सर्विसेज रेंडर्ड हुई उसका अप्रैल में बिलिंग गई, तो रूटीन मैटर है. एक मंथ की जो सर्विसेज रेंडर्ड है उसका ऑटोमेटिकली बिल नेक्स्ट मंथ के ही फर्स्ट वीक में रेज होता है. तो अभी आपने कहा कि 31st को ही करना चाहिए, तो
Sir, we are sitting on this forum. Waris Bhai is there. Let's have opinion. In my opinion, rarest of rare cases there. Otherwise तो हो जाता है कि हमने काम किया, कंपनी ने एक्सेप्ट अगले साल करा, उसका बिल अगले साल पास करा, accepted the bill in the next one. But vice versa, if we have provided or provided some goods in a particular financial year, why will we people going for raising an invoice in the next financial year?
सर ये तो रूटीन है ना, मतलब कि हम एक ही मंथ की सर्विस नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम रेगुलर कर रहे हैं फॉर एवरी मंथ. हमें कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है फॉर 3 years. तो एवरी मंथ एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ 31st को वो अप्रूव होता है, उसके बाद फर्स्ट और सेकंड को वो बिल रेज होता है.
सर
तो 31st मार्च मींस कि 31st मार्च को रात को 12 बजे वो शिफ्ट क्लोज होती है, उसकी अटेंडेंस होती है,
वारिस भाई
बाद ही बिल रेज होगा ना. वो अक्रूव है, मतलब सर्विस
सर बात
रात को 12 बजे 31st को ही खत्म हुई.
I am of this view, if the particular work has been done in a particular financial year, should have been shown in that financial year itself. And for this matter, GST also will be of much help. Time of supply. उन्होंने time of supply explain किया हुआ है. What is the time of supply? We can come across the next, I mean, when we sit tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we can take up this issue again, that in the case of service, what will be the time of supply?
Bilkul, sir. So on this part, we will discuss later on, because right now Mr. Varis is also not there. Have you any other questions, sir?
No, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Please, please, please. Now, Mr. Bhavya Popat. Bhavya ji, I could not able to unmute you. Can you able to, Mr. Bhavya Popat? Please
Yes.
continue. Please continue.
Yeah. So my question is, we are receiving the mail regarding the difference that is under section 143A. We are receiving the notices for the differences of 26 AS and our returned income, returned gross receipts.
1
Am
minute.
I audible, sir?
You are audible, but by mistake, Mr. Consent. Yes, please continue.
Yeah. Yeah, concerns I am audible, no?
या थोड़ा सा सर आप जो ये सर देखिए 140 नोटिस सबको आ रहे हैं. If there is a mismatch, reason about it, and you have to
Sir,
find
my
it out.
question is, sir, my question is a bit different. We are missing the time because the mails are served on the email ID of the client, and they are not able to inform us within the time. और सर ये टाइम जब चला जाता है ना, तब it becomes a big issue. उसका कोई सॉल्यूशन अगर प्रैक्टिकली कभी आपने देखा हो तो, कि हमें डेट एक्सटेंशन कुछ मिल सके.
Sir, if I talk about my functioning, I have provided the mobile number, primary, and secondary of myself and primary of the assessee. Email my ID in primary, everywhere my ID is there. And they are not relying more than, if you go to the particular mail ID, if you are creating 20 mail IDs of different people, where you can attach 10 assessee to the one mail ID. There is a facility of forwarding. So any mail received in that mail will automatically be forwarded to your original mail ID, which is you using day-to-day working.
The only issue comes when department starts sending mail of that bulk mails. Your email would be full of this junk mails because of that. The only issue is which we are facing because of this is that. So
sir,
there is no other practical remedy available, no?
Sir, there is no practical. You won't believe. जब ये bulk में आते हैं, we come across, see each and every mail, and we really work very hard, and we always try to be in time. As far as because when 15 days goes, we are not able to submit the reply.
Exactly. Thank you.
Same thing is happening in the cases of trust and society.
Yes.
Plenty of notices are issued or communications are issued on account of this.
Exactly. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Devendra Parekh, are you there?
Yes.
Please continue.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Mr.
Hello, sir.
Parekh.
So I have same problem for the TDS. One our client is a partnership firm, and TDS deducted on the work contract under 194C by the private limited company. Our total turnover is below than 1 crore at that time. The limit is 1 crore for the audit. That's why we filed the return, because our total turnover is 70 lakhs. We filed the return before 31st of July and submit the return accordingly. As and when we received the notice from the department for the mismatch of the TDS, we came to know that the TDS done of 2,25,000 rupees against the work contract shown in our books of account, in our TDS. Whereas accordingly, there is a scrutiny assessment, selected scrutiny assessment 143, and we submit the details along with the affidavit and all evidence of our books of account, our bank account, everything. Even though the learned ITO has decided the case and added the income in both the SSE, in case of private limited company and in case of my client, that is partnership firm. So we file an appeal. So in these circumstances, the learned ITO cannot add it in both the SSE. What is your opinion?
Yes, sir. Sir, you are right. actually the receipts belong to private limited company?
No, we are partnership firm.
Receipts belong to partnership firms?
Yes, my client is a partnership firm.
Okay, and you shown the receipt on the basis of section 4480 at the rate of 8%, whichever is applicable.
Yeah.
Okay, then
because we are not under the audit because our turnover is just 70 lakhs rupees.
Okay. Then the same entry was appearing in some other companies.
No, this we have found when the return, when we get the notice from the department, we found that there is a mis-TDS.
Okay. It was shown in excess or less? Less amount was shown. Sir, amount was shown less in TDS or it was shown excess in TDS?
Excess. The private limited company, they deduct the tax at source in the month of November before filing the return. We have filed the return in the month of July because our turnover is below the limit. That's why our due date is 31st July and we filed the return.
Your work done is matching?
Work done is not matching because there is no contract work with that particular company in this particular financial year.
And when you filed your return, the TDS as per your
yes, at the time of filing, we have a copy of the 26 AS also, and that is a match with the 70 lakhs rupees and the TDS accordingly.
That means the company later on put some entries on the 31st March and deducted TDS.
Yes.
Sir, here the actually thing is this, the company has filed the TDS return late. It is not within due date.
Exactly.
So actually, if the same would have been appearing in your books of account at the time of filing of return before 31st of July, there would have been option if you haven't executed the amount, you can easily carry forward through your scheduled TDS.
But we have not done the work at all. We submit.
Even next year, आपने नहीं करा?
नहीं, next year there is no work at all.
Sir, sir, I am surprised why this type of problems are creeping up. If this is the situation, an affidavit of assessee can be there and you can simultaneously write to the ITO TDS. Because if I am not wrong, jurisdictional AO before whom we appear has no control on the assessee as far as TDS is concerned. My request, my suggestion is this: you should approach ITO TDS also.
I see. We didn't approach to ITO TDS. That's why the learned ITO along with the under monitoring of the CCIT, the matter was discussed ACIT, and the matter was discussed with the ACIT also, and he has assessed and added in both the SSC's income in case of our client a partnership firm and in case of private limited company also.
Because he has claimed the expenses.
Yeah.
But then I must show your case is very strong, and you should go. You must go into the appeal before the commissioner.
Citation for that.
Sir, आप अपना number note down करवा दीजिए immediately. So if I am not wrong, because देखिए आप number note करवा दीजिए, I will definitely revert back to the Nigam Shah ji.
Will give you my numbers.
Mr. Parekh, you drop your email ID and mobile number in.
Yes, just before 5 minutes, I sent the email ID and my email address to our.
Nigam bhai will give me the queries with email IDs and numbers. I will definitely revert back.
Oh yes, thank you so much.
I'll check, please, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Please.
So welcome, sir.
Now, sir, in our group, Mr. GN Sharma is there.
Nigam bhai, can I interrupt?
1 minute, sir. Mr. GN Sharma is waiting since long time. After GN
Sharma ji. Yes.
अभी आप इंटरप्रेट करो, अभी आप चैट करो.
शर्मा जी आज तो हमारे बुजुर्ग अरविंद गुप्ता जी भी है हमारे साथ में.
जी अरविंद जी भी
रेगुलर अटेंड कर रहा हूँ. अच्छा जी रेगुलर नहीं आप नहीं, मैं गुप्ता जी को आज बहुत टाइम बाद देखा.
मैंने गुप्ता जी को भी
प्रणाम. कैसे हैं?
ठीक है भाई, थैंक यू.
अच्छा बोलिए शर्मा जी, क्या है?
हाँ रुपेंद्र जी.
जी सर.
एक चीज बताओ, ये जो आप बता रहे हैं ऑडिट रिपोर्ट रिवाइज हो सकती है, अंडर विच प्रोविजन इट कैन बी रिवाइज्ड? बिकॉज आई हैव डिस्कस्ड एट सो मेनी टाइम विद वेरियस चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स regarding revising the audit report, but they always says that there is no any provision to revise the audit report under section 44 AB of the Act. That's why I want to know the particular provision for revising this audit report.
Sir, देखिए, because we are tax professionals and CAs are unrelated to we people. I am talking, जितने भी मैंने आपको यहाँ आज problem discuss, what we have discussed. 3 of my cases were selected for scrutiny. I explained you before of the fault of the auditor, wherein he put the wrong figure of bonus in column 28. And for that reason, the case was selected for in the limited scrutiny.
Yes, yes.
And not because of these 3 cases. Earlier also, because of ESI and EPF, where chartered accountants used to show the both employee share and employer share both in that column, because disallowance was only on account of employee share. So as far as my station is concerned or Punjab is concerned, CAs are readily accepting the things, readily accepting the faults, and they are revising the audit report. And my 3 limited scrutiny cases were accepted by the e-assessment proceedings, and they have passed the order by accepting my view, and the case has been closed.
No, there is no such a question. Question is that if any person doing wrongly in a regular manner, it means that is a proper way.
Sir, there is nothing regularly in a proper manner. There is always a clerical error. We all are professionals. Even chartered accountants are our brothers. There can be a genuine mistake. I think if we take example of ESI and EPF, you must appreciate most of the professionals, most of the chartered accountants used to give the consolidated figure of ESI and EPF. Nobody was clear that only ESI in relation to or EPF in relation to employee share has to be given in that. So I am telling you, in the financial year 17-18, in my office 20 audit reports were revised by the chartered accountant. Means chartered accountants were dealing in so many offices, they revised all the audit reports.
That may be, but there is no any such a provision. And if there is so, then it is a wrong revising audit report, as I am of the opinion.
Reason being?
And it means the wrong audits are being conducted. Because they are giving certificates. We are not giving certificate. Advocates give its opinion and chartered accountant give its certificate. Then certificate cannot be changed. This is the simple question.
Sir, if one has put the wrong figure column which should not have been provided, you must appreciate this fact that chartered accountant, who is the boss of the office, nobody is preparing the audit report himself. He is getting it prepared through articles. And if one article has put the wrong figure at some column, assessees should not suffer on the fault of any professional. There is a judgment on the high courts on this issue. If the error is on the part of professional, the assessee should not suffer. I am of the view the audit report must be revised. And it, sir, देखिए, there is a difference of certification and putting a wrong figure in the wrong column. If a person is figure of bonus in column 28, which in original was never to be put in there, where the certificate went wrong, he is just putting wrong figure at the wrong place. In my opinion, it should be revised. And the proof of this is that after revision, my case was closed by the e-assessment department. Had there been any problem, in revising the audit report, they must have objected that the audit report could not be revised.
That may be there, but as far as law is concerned, it is not permitted.
Okay, then in that case, we can discuss on this issue in further
yes,
also.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sharma, sir. Thank you, sir.
अभी मेरा आ गया सर.
Hi, please, sir. Please, sir.
सर, आपने जो भी कहा वो मेरे ऊपर से गया, because I don't practice in income tax, but फिर भी सुनने में बहुत मजा आया.
सर, आज आपने डिफरेंस सुना ना, आप रोज जीएसटी सुनते हैं, and GST is not very interesting subject.
और वैसे भी सर आप बीच एरिया में बैठे हुए हैं ना सर?
हाँ, मैं भी. It's a virtual background, man.
हाँ,
background.
Now our great.
अभी संजय अरोरा भी आ गए हैं हरियाणा से, करनाल से,
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
अरविंद गुप्ता जी भी है, जीएन शर्मा जी भी है, रुपिंदर कंसल जी भी है, बीआर कौशल जी भी है। सभी बुजुर्ग लोगों को मेरा प्रणाम। और
उस लिस्ट से मुझे बाहर निकालिए।
अच्छा, भव्य पोपट जी भी है हमारे साथ।
सर अक्षत जी,
मेरा
सर,
हाँ जी,
3 क्वेश्चन पेंडिंग, ओनली 3 क्वेश्चन,
ओनली 3 क्वेश्चंस,
ओनली 3 क्वेश्चन।
ओके,
चलेगा सर?
आई थिंक वी आर टाइम बाउंड, वी आर डिस्कसिंग।
दैट्स व्हाई अभी छोटा 3 क्वेश्चन है, तीनों को मैंने कमिट किया हुआ है। प्लीज सर।
ओके, श्योर।
इसमें से सबसे पहला अरोरा साहब है। संजय जी, प्लीज कंटिन्यू सर।
जी, गुड इवनिंग एवरीबॉडी एंड सॉरी फॉर ज्वाइनिंग लेट। अच्छा, मेरा क्वेश्चन जो था उसका आंसर वैसे मुझे काफी हद तक मिल चुका है। मेरी क्वेरी जीएन शर्मा जी ने पूछ ली, वही लगभग सेम थी कि क्या ऑडिट रिपोर्ट रिवाइज हो सकती है, इज इट पॉसिबल। बट जहां तक डिस्कशन से निष्कर्ष निकला कि जीएन शर्मा जी बोलते हैं कि लीगली इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल, और कहीं तक उनका जो ओपिनियन है वो मुझे कन्विंसिंग लगता है। बट प्रैक्टिकली जो रुपेंद्र कंसल जी के केस डिसाइड हुए हैं और प्रैक्टिकली वो सूटेबल भी है हमें, तो अब इसका कंक्लूजन जो है वो हमें लेना पड़ेगा कहीं ना कहीं। अब ये तो लकी रहे कि पंजाब में इनके एओज ने उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लिया और इनके सीएज वर काइंड इनफ कि वो रेडी हो गए उसको रिवाइज करने के लिए।
सर, मेरे पंजाब के ऑफिसर ने नहीं एक्सेप्ट किया, ई असेसमेंट एक्सेप्ट किया।
यस, और आपके सीएस भी बड़े कोऑपरेटिव रहे ना सर, जिन्होंने मान लिया कि रिवाइज हो सकती है। मेरे केस में ऐसा हुआ, इसी तरह का सेम था कि उसमें उसने जो एक्सपेंस को रॉन्गली डिसअलाउ दिखा दिया, जबकि वो एक्सपेंस जो था वो वेरी मच अलाउएबल था और प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस में हमने उसका क्लेम लिया हुआ था। तो 143(1)(a) में क्वेरी आ गई, तो वी रिक्वेस्टेड द सीए टू रिवाइज द रिपोर्ट, बट ही डिनाइड। तो उसका हमें उसमें टैक्स इफेक्ट जो था वो थोड़ा ही था, लेकिन हमने भर दिया। बट इस टाइप की प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है। मेरा भी सेम क्वेश्चन है कि क्या लीगली ये पॉसिबल है।
सर देखिए, साथ में ये चैट बॉक्स चल रहा है, उसमें गैलेक्सी S8, आई डोंट नो द पर्सन हु इज, उन्होंने कुछ पोस्ट किया है, उन्होंने पोस्ट ये किया है, द इंस्टीट्यूट इन SA 560 रिवाइज्ड ब्रैकेट में subsequent events, Ministry of Corporate Affairs had also clarified that accounts can be revised to comply with the technical requirements.
सर ये रिवाइज जो वर्डिंग है वो मैं थोड़ा लीगली चेंज करना चाहता हूँ। इट कैन बी, हम उसको एरर फ्री कर सकते हैं। अगर हमें ध्यान में आए तो रिपोर्ट कोई भी सर्टिफिकेट में कुछ भी एरर आ जाती है तो वी कैन, चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट कैन रेक्टिफाई मिस्टेक।
यस,
वो लीगली हो या नहीं हो, और या इंस्टीट्यूट सर टाइपिंग से लेके कॉलम से लेके कोई भी मिस्टेक कहीं पे भी आती है तो एवरीबडी हैज राइट टू रेक्टिफाई दैट अंडर इट इज द नोवेयर इट इज द, अगर कोई इंस्टीट्यूट कुछ भी बोले या इनकम टैक्स लॉ कुछ भी बोले, बट रिवीजन का तो रेक्टिफिकेशन का कोर्स कोई छीन नहीं सकता।
एक्चुअली यू आर राइट, और आपका जो आर्गुमेंट है वो बहुत ठीक भी है और हमें सूट भी करता है। बट अब हम बात ये आती है सीएस को कौन कन्विंस करे।
सर मैं इसका जवाब देता हूँ। इसका ये जवाब है कि आप ऑडिटर सर जिसके साथ आपकी अच्छी रेपट है।
जी
नहीं, बहुत लोग करते हैं, दैट इज नो, नहीं करते ऐसा नहीं है। हाँ, भी अगर जेन्युइन मिस्टेक आती है तो वो चेंज कर देते हैं या एलोबरेट कर देते हैं। इट इज डन।
ओके, चलिए, अगर इस पे ना कुछ स्पेसिफिक है तो प्लीज, हम सभी बैठे हैं, किसी के सामने कुछ आता है तो वो शेयर करें प्लीज।
बिल्कुल, राइट नाउ मैंने गैलेक्सी S8 को अनम्यूट किया है। इज देयर, आर यू ऑनलाइन सर?
यस सर।
गैलेक्सी S8, व्हाट्स योर गुड नेम?
Sunil.
Mr. Sunil, you have posted some reference in common chat room.
Yes sir.
Can you elaborate on this issue please?
Actually, I was listening all the problems and all the comments made by our members.
Yes.
And I
help क्या मिल सकता है?
Simultaneously I find on the Google that the audit report can be revised or not. and in some article by the tax guru, these lines are putting our members. So I posted it in the comment.
Okay, understood on this issue. Referring to this common platform, we can search some appropriate judgments or other issues.
I will post about the
I will post that.
Yes, horizontal of audit report. Yes, sir. Akshatji, I am
Yes.
endorsing with you because since one of my client is receiving horizontal audit report since last 8 to 10 years, but I am not person from income tax, so I have not discussed on this issue.
Sir, I just want to add, there should not be a intention to defraud the revenue. If it's a genuine mistake, and if there is a provision to revise the return on finding any clerical error or any genuine mistake, and we can revise it within that year, why the audit report cannot be revised? If there is a genuine mistake, I must add to it, there must not be any intention to defraud the revenue. So
Yes,
where is the problem if your intention is right?
अरोड़ा संजय जी बोल रहे हैं कुछ लेकिन unmute हो जाए.
Much right, Rupinder ji. I am also of the same opinion. I think you are right. We should carry on this opinion, and I think in future we should go for this.
And we should talk to our friend brothers chartered accountants to give some legal opinion, some their instruction from the institute where they can revise return.
Yes, you are right.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Akshat ji, can I continue further? There is 2 questions.
अभी टाइम बहुत हो गया आई थिंक
जी.
आई थिंक हमें सबको ऐसे प्रकाश भी कुछ कर रहा है कर अपना, तो आई थिंक वो भी बोल रहा है कि नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चंस को बाद में लेते हैं, या ऐसे कोई भी क्वेश्चन अगर छूट जाते हैं तो एनएस के ग्रुप में डाल दीजिए सर, जो ग्रुप में एवरीबडी विल रिस्पॉन्ड यू, एंड आई थिंक now there is a time to say hi. I'm seeing Vinod Parmar is our Vice President of Gujarat Sales Tax Bar Association is also there, as well as one of our most respected person, Mr. Soni, PK Soni sir in the Gujarat is also there. बहुत सारे यहाँ पे लोग हैं जो I think we are from Diu, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Haryana, Punjab. There are many people from many states as well as area and region. Karnataka, Kerala, okay, very nice.
Jammu.
जम्मू, विनोद जी भी मैंने देखा था, विनोद जी को देखा, अमित गुप्ता जी को भी सुना अभी, तो अच्छा लगता है आप सबके साथ ये सब बात करने में. हमें लोगों को आशीष नंदा जी भी है अभी भी, तो अच्छा लगता है बात करते हैं. और अभी कल के लिए हमारा टॉपिक है, और मैं सबको विनती करता हूँ जो भी अपने स्पीकर्स है वो इंग्लिश के साथ साथ मुझे, क्योंकि व्हाट्सएप पे 3-4 बार मैसेज आ चुके हैं, थोड़ा थोड़ा हिंदी भी चालू रखे. आई डोंट से कि 100% हिंदी रखे, तो हिंदी इंग्लिश चलेगा. एज वेल एज आई थिंक कल हमसे ज्यादा लोग होंगे, आज से भी ज्यादा लोग कल होंगे, और कल से ज्यादा लोग परसों होंगे. शायद कल हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री लॉकडाउन में कुछ रिलैक्सेशन करने का दे रहे हैं कि पूरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज कुछ लॉकडाउन रहेगा या कुछ नहीं रहेगा, या कुछ ग्रीन येलो रेड जोन में पूरा इंडिया को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने जा रहे हैं. तो शायद कल से हम जैसे लोग जहाँ पे अभी कोरोना नहीं आया है वो लोग शायद ऑफिस चालू कर पाएंगे, तो ऐसा लग रहा है. तो होप फॉर द बेस्ट, आपके वहाँ पे भी कोरोना ना आए, और आप लोग भी जल्दी से जल्दी जहाँ पे है वहाँ पे रेड जोन में या ब्लू जोन में या कोई भी जोन में, ग्रीन जोन में आ जाए. और होप फॉर द बेस्ट. कल के लिए फिर से मिलते हैं. और कल का टॉपिक क्या है निकम जी?
tomorrow once again income tax के ऊपर ही है. Approach towards addition after demonetization in light of section 68.
Okay, demonetization वाला issue है. So it is also one of the most VP गुप्ता जी दिल्ली से conduct करने वाले हैं. तो I hope कल भी हम सब लोग साथ में मिलेंगे इसी जगह यही टाइम पे 5 बजे. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Akshat bhai. I would like to add in 2 things because in general chat from Tamil Nadu is there and from Pune is there. Our senior member, our liking members, Mr. Joglekar Sahib is also there. Once again, I am thank you very much to all the speaker and especially Rupendra Kansal ji